In the world of Chainsaw Man, devils are about as commonplace as anything you can think should exist in the normal world. However, what exactly makes devils in Chainsaw Man so special, and why should they be so feared, and what types of devils are there? Well, in today's Chainsaw Man video, we're going to explain everything you should know about devils so that when season 1 of the anime airs, any questions you might have can be answered here in this video. So jumping right into the topic, devils exist in the world of Chainsaw Man because they were born exactly where you think they might have been born, inside of hell itself. However, every devil that we see in the Chainsaw Man is unique, just as unique as you or I would actually be, and they correlate in some aspect of human life that already exists. So for instance, there's a devil for a concept like war, and there's a devil for guns, and a devil for dolls, and a devil for the future. We even have devils for things such as cockroaches, tomatoes, and bats. However, not all devils are the same, and some are obviously more powerful than others, but we'll cover that in a moment here. So devils exist in our world because they manifest from something that is attached to their name. So the gun devil exists because of gun crimes and the fear of guns, and its body is made up out of guns, and so too are all the powers that are associated with guns itself. Denji has the Chainsaw Man, which, as you can tell, turns his body into chainsaws. So that in of itself is an easy enough concept for you to grasp, but let's go a little bit deeper here. The devils that exist are the physical embodiment personified by the fear associated with their names, and as long as that fear itself still exists inside the world of Chainsaw Man, the devils will continue to exist. So for instance, a blood devil still exists because someone somewhere has a fear of blood. When a devil dies, it will come back to life at some point, but the trade-off is that the devil won't be able to remember anything that happened in any of its past lives. What's fascinating about this is that devils that die, for instance, while inside of hell, they will reappear inside the human world afterwards. When a devil dies inside the human world, they will reappear inside of hell. It's a cycle of death and rebirth, which in of itself can be linked to the Asian belief of Samsara and its cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The appearances of devils will vary from devil to devil, just as human appearance will vary from person to person, though as Makima explained early on in the series, when a human is possessed by a devil, there are certain key markers that make them easier to spot when a human is possessed by a devil. As Makima stated, the easiest giveaway is to look closely at the faces, and in part 2 of Chainsaw Man with Asa Mitaka, you can see the difference between a human possessed by a devil and the normal human itself. Devils can be formed from parts of the body such as intestines, blood, skin, bones, though there are some devils who come to existence from stuff like food such as the grape devil and the tomato devil, but even then they still have some shared characteristics that we as humans have, like arms and legs and mouth and eyes and awareness of their actions and consequences of those actions. Devils feed off of blood and they feed off of the fear of humans, but they can also survive by drinking blood of non-humans as well. In any case, that in turn heals their wounds and their various injuries while sustaining their life force, though human blood has the best benefits and it can actually make a devil stronger. Now, devils aren't just limited to eating humans or drinking their blood. They can literally eat the same things as you or I. So if they see a burger they want to eat, they can do it without any type of issues. However, most devils turn down eating human food because there's no added incentive to the healing injuries or gaining any more power when it comes to eating human food, unless that food just happens to be a human. Then they get those added benefits. Devils also don't die of old age like you or I will, which makes sense given that fears are usually associated with their assistance. So like a fear of knowing the future gives you the future devil, or a fear of starvation gives you the famine devil, or even potentially the hunger devil. Devils are complicated because they can just as easily form contracts with humans as well. It's really interesting to look at. So on one hand, they require the blood of a human, they require the fear of a human, but on the other hand, they can make contracts with humans, with a Japanese politician making a contract with a devil, and even the president of the United States made a contract with the devil as well, which for more info on devil contracts, you'll want to check out my video on every devil contract in Chainsaw Man Explained, where I go super in depth on that. However, what you do need to know about devil contracts is that they do require something in exchange, and this can be something as small as fingernails, or it can be something as drastic as the remaining lifespan of a person making the contract. So the phrase "a deal with the devil" definitely applies here. While there are some devils who look just as human as you or I, it's important to note that these devils, though they look human, they don't have the same rights as humans. So for instance, if someone walked up and killed a devil that looked like a human girl in broad daylight, there'd be no legal ramifications for this because devil lives don't matter. However, that's not to say humans and devils can't form relationships, because we've actually seen the opposite happen. They can form relationships. Denji with Pochita is a really good example. So it's not impossible for a human to develop platonic or even romantic feelings for a devil if it so happens to come to that. After all, you love who you love. But as we learn in part 2 of Chainsaw Man, without going into spoilers, 7 out of 20 citizens are killed by devils, making death at the hands of a devil the highest, most likely death a person can expect to have inside the world of Chainsaw Man. It's for that reason that devil hunters make a killing, well, by killing devils. There are different types of devils, so enough so that I'm working on a video titled "Every Devil in Chainsaw Man," because that's a long topic in of itself, but the different types of devils can be broken down into subcategories. So you have the standard devils like we see with the stone devil and the snake devil. You have the primal devils that possess names that embody the primal fears of humans have and are born with in most cases. These are way more powerful than your normal devils. So for instance, devils like darkness would apply here. These devils even scare actual devils. So you know you're a big deal when other devils are afraid of you. These devils, the primal devils, have never actually been killed. So they've never appeared on Earth, at least not yet anyway. Now, fiends are devils who are possessed by a corpse, though they're not as strong as normal devils and their powers are a bit scaled down, but they can still heal themselves by drinking blood. But unlike hybrids, they can die and be killed if they're wounded bad enough. For instance, Denji is a hybrid. For more information on fiends, you'll want to check out my video, "Every Fiend in Chainsaw Man Explained." So what exactly are hybrids and what makes them so special? Well, as the name implies, they're devils that have the appearance of a human. They have human consciousness, but they transform into a human devil hybrid and use supernatural abilities of the devil that they have. Hybrids can also transform into their hybrid form through a physical body trigger, and their regen abilities are damn near limitless. And if you do manage to land a blow that should actually kill them, as long as they get enough blood inside of their bodies, they can actually revive themselves and they still retain all their memories. Depending on how you look at it, hybrids are the most dangerous devils in existence for this very reason. However, like everything, devils do have some weaknesses that are universal for every devil, like say positive emotions. The more positive energy that is directed towards a devil, the weaker it can become. And if people love or admire a devil enough, it can actually sap away at their strength, which should make sense to you since, as we've established, fears tend to be one of the correlations that we see with devils' existence. All devils have these universal powers. Corpse possession, which as it sounds, they can take over the human corpse and make them into a fiend. Reincarnation is the power of the devils to come back to life, but each time they do reincarnate, they lose their memories of their past life. Contract creation, which is, as it also sounds, making a contract with a human. Blood consumption, which heals their bodies. And finally, fear, which is what devils feed off of, in the concept of fear inside of humans, leads itself to them actually existing, which ironically is why the Chainsaw Man devil is so special, because devils literally are scared of the Chainsaw Man devil itself. However, that's gonna be it for my Chainsaw Man video today. Hopefully this helps you understand more about devils a little bit better. If you like this video or you want to check out the other Chainsaw Man topics we have here on the channel, hit the like button and consider checking out these other Chainsaw Man and anime videos you see on the screen right now.